Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a terrific Tuesday so far. Today we're going to be diving into, you guessed it, Cardano, and there is so much to share in this video. I am going to try, however, to keep it as short and sweet as possible, but we'll see how we get on. There's just a lot happening right now, guys, and we're going to inform you of it all in this vid. We are going to be looking at the charts. We're going to be going over some pretty big things happening in regards to some of the news that we got that's really shown up on chain involving institutional demand and how we've seen a real push up for this in regards to Cardano. So we will be getting into that, going over a few clips. We'll be playing this clip from Charles. He's over in Dubai at a cryptocurrency conference at the moment. He's very good at articulating just what's happening, just how big cryptocurrencies are, what blockchain is doing to the world. So I'll play a very short clip of this and then we'll get into a few other things that I think you guys will find interesting. So let's get straight into it, guys. The overall market, it seems to be taking a bit of a rest. Some of your altcoins are actually doing very well in this time period as they've been permissioned by the overall sentiment. The sentiment seems to have changed very, very quickly to a bullish bias. Of course, Bitcoin is now up just under 50%. We know roughly what we're looking at for Cardano. You guys know, and I'll remove my head from the screen, just what we've been looking at for the past couple of weeks now, and that is this MACD bullish cross, which we've had. We've shown you historically what's happened every other time you've got this for Cardano. You've seen further upward trend continuation. And this is really one of the main things that we're looking at the moment. What we will do, and we also know we've got the hard fork coming up. So I suppose the real question is history going to repeat? Every single time we've had a hard fork, we've seen a run up to it. And every single time we've had the MACD bullish cross, we've seen further continuation. So they're two things that are in the kind of motion of repeating. That's what we're really looking at from a charting point of view. We're not seeing anything, technically things don't look bad at all. We are taking a bit of a rest here, and you can see this is extremely significant. So is this potentially a resistance and a support flip? Potentially, although you have sold for it here. Really what you're looking at is this as a significant resistance. And this structure does not look bad to me at all, guys. I mean, it really doesn't. So technically things look a-okay for Cardano. What I really want to get to is some of the things happening with Cardano, not just the kind of price, because there's some amazing things taking place. This is one of them. This was from Into the Block. Cardano is experiencing increasing institutional demand. The volume of on-chain transactions above 100K has increased by just 50 times just in 2022. Let that sink in, guys. We have seen a 50x in terms of transactions of that size. This points to big players within the game. Yesterday, a total of 69.09 billion ADA were moved in these large transactions, presenting 99% of the total volume on chain. So, of course, we know that there isn't 69 billion ADA, but in terms of the amount transacted within that period, that was the total amount, which is huge. And you can see, we have the on-chain data to back all of this up. We're not trying to pull smoke and mirror here, guys. You can literally go onto Into the Block and actually look at all the on-chain activity with Cardano. So this is huge, something I thought you guys would find extremely interesting. What I want to do now is play a clip of, I'll tell you what I'll do first. I'll go over some of the other things happening within the ecosystem. We know that we had Milk and Meter's launch of their layer 2, the first layer 2 built on top of Cardano. And they have launched a DEX called Milky Swap, actually launched on top of them. This has seen significant USD volume on top of it. So it's been a huge success. The total value locked is a whopping 28 million USD. This was significant because on this DEX, you can not only swap Cardano and all of its native assets, but you can essentially swap them with the likes of Ethereum or USDC or Bitcoin. It's pretty impressive what these guys have done. The next thing I want to move on to very quickly is the ADA staking is now live. Very much a similar setup to the MELD staking. And those of you who have been present and actually gone through with MELD staking will know the process, but it is straightforward to stake. So that's, this is a DApp that we've been looking forward to. Let's get into the clip of Charles Hoskinson, guys, and then we're going to try and fly through the rest. Apologies if I'm talking rather fast. It's just that I want to get through everything that we've got for you today.
Embrace it. We are entering a new era. The reality is the protocols are getting good enough to really service the needs of millions to billions. On the horizon, we have high-performance proof-of-stake, recursive snarks, beautiful bridges with layer 2 protocols. The tech is there, or it's getting there. In the next 24 to 36 months, many of these protocols are turning on, and they're already starting to service the mainstream. When you look at some of the largest companies like Coinbase and others, they have tens of millions of customers. A few more years, we'll talk hundreds of millions, if not billions. So we have arrived at a point where we have the attention of the world. Just like in the 90s, the internet arrived at a point where it too had the attention of the world. And we must, as an industry, decide whether we wish to learn from the past or if we wish to just allow it to happen again.
Brilliant video. I don't think many people have seen. I'm not going to play too much of it. You can find it on Charles Hoskinson's Twitter. He is amazing at summing up. You know, one reason that I have the kind of faith that I think I have in Charles Hoskinson in regards to Cardano is because he really understands, not only was he present at some of the key moments of founding this industry, but he really understands what's actually going on here. And it's something he mentioned, the internet. This is a video that I put out over 2 years ago now, and it's called Bitcoin is Following Amazon. This is a theme that I've maintained on my channel, that this is absolutely a technological revolution. And essentially, you know, you want to think of it as any other technological revolution, whether that be the motoring industry, whether that be the railroad industry, whether that be the telecom industry, whether that be the internet or the PC industry. You know, these are all technological revolutions that today we use these technologies without even thinking twice about. Blockchain is on a similar path, ladies and gentlemen. I really do believe that. And we're at a very critical moment right now in regards to regulatory framework being built around it. This is something that I presented on my daily cryptocurrency market update. For those of you that don't know, because I know this is a more popular video as it's just solely about Cardano than my sort of cryptocurrency market updates. Every day we put out an update where we look at markets generally, but it comes out a lot earlier on than this one. And we were looking at the fact that, you know, regulation is coming. And in actual fact, it's going to be the very catalyst, in my opinion, that catapults crypto to its next destination. You know, this is already the fastest adopted technology ever. And, you know, it's about to get a whole lot faster when we get the green light from the likes of the US and a number of other places. And this was we know we've got the executive order. This is Biden's budget proposal estimates additional 11 billion in revenue by 2032 by updating crypto rules. It goes into a number of things. How are they going to generate that kind of income off it if they're going to destroy the industry? They're not, in my opinion. In fact, they're going to usher in the next wave of adoption, whether they mean to do it or not, but I suspect they probably do. The US President Joe Biden releases his 2023 budget proposal on Monday, and in it, his administration is seeking to modernize rules around digital assets that it says would generate an additional 11 billion in revenue by 2032, as well as expand the Department of Justice to counter cyber threats. And they always throw in that little, yeah, well, you know, there might be some nefarious actors somewhere. But yeah, the reason I bring this up is because this is huge. We know they're going to definitely tax it, of course, probably quite harshly in certain areas. But it's necessary when people talk about adoption. It's rather ironic that we're now asking permission to do something that is essentially permissionless. But when you talk about the next level of adoption and you talk about Wall Street pushing this and the trillions going into it, this is what's needed. And this will certainly spur on a Bitcoin ETF, which we know Grayscale are already considering entering into a legal battle over against the SEC. So huge things are coming. You know, this is what Charles is talking about in this video. The fact that, you know, it's very, very similar what's going on here, and it's almost inevitable at this point. Yes, we know there's still a lot going on geopolitically, macroeconomically, and in a monetary policy kind of sense. But ultimately, you know, crypto is on an adoption curve that is very, early on. You know, if you look at a kind of adoption curve, and this is your halfway point, or that's not a perfect halfway point. You know, crypto is somewhere here potentially. And the reason that I say that isn't based on, you know, how many people own crypto. It's more how many people use it. It's nowhere near used yet. And here you're talking tens to potentially hundreds of trillions of dollars, in my humble opinion. But that is not financial advice, all just the direction I think this space is going. So lots of interesting things taking place. This is certainly super interesting. Go and give this video a watch, guys. He, like I say, very, very good speaker. And also, it's definitely aligns with my kind of thinking of the crypto space, or my thinking aligns with Charles's. So that's really all I have for you in this video, ladies and gentlemen. If you've enjoyed this content, a like is always appreciated. So is a comment. Remember, we do have the stake pool. ALLIN is the ticker. You can choose to stake to us if you want. We are minting blocks, and we do have 3.4 million ADA in the pool, so we should be minting them consistently. That is all I have for you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesdays, and I'll catch you all in the next YouTube video. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents.